What up, everybody? Sorry, I'm out of shape. There's a August 18th, 19th, 2020. My annual September run to put in my trail cameras and put in track tent. This year I'm going to start a little early. Got where I'm at, but see if this thing will trying to get it to swap over, but I don't know what that button does. Anyways, there's just a deer right over there I was trying to show you. But coming in to set some new attractant. Put my 2 trail cameras in. Usually I do this in September, but I'm trying a new attractant, so I'm gonna give it a little longer to start. There's always deer in here, but I just want to see what it does. But let's see if I can get that deer in there. Oh, I guess not. Anyways, yeah, she's right down there looking at me. It's like 70 yards. Later in the year, that'll be an easy shot. But anyways, just rambling. No, I came in here to put in my 2 trail cameras, do some new attractant, and build a ground blind. Someone built this one years ago. You can see it's all old. I built one over there last year and actually shot a buck out of it. But I know I'd have better luck. I'm gonna move this one about 20, 30 yards to the north from where it's at, because I have this bush right here that kind of blocks where if a deer comes out, I don't see it until it's only the head I can see. So I'm gonna move it over here a little ways and get it all set up, set my trail camera up somewhere, figure that out, and then go from there. I'll show you the new attractant. It's something you mix water in and mush it around. I don't know. See what it is. See how it does. I've done Trophy Rock. That one always does good, but it just doesn't have the aroma out there. So I'm gonna try this, and I've tried like buck jam and deer cane and all that stuff, and not the best. I don't ever see them stay on it. It's usually the Trophy Rock that they stay on. But I thought I'd give this a shot, you never know. But, all right, I'm gonna start hacking away at that. Actually, I gotta go clear a spot for it, and then I might actually use some of the wood that I built my blind across here last year. Go from there. So, but let me get it done and I'll update you here in a minute. Here's a little doe. Don't worry, I'm gonna be getting you something here in a minute to be able to taste it here in a little bit. Attract all the big boys over here. All right, girl, I'm gonna get to work, so just go back to eating. You're good. You're safe. Sorry, didn't know I hit the button. Anyways, all right, so this is the stuff I'm trying this year. Well, these are my cameras, and they are just a stealth cam. Come on, Brad. Whoa. Anyways, got a pretty good camera. Tried at home and stuff like that. I haven't tried any of the videos or anything, so not 100% on how well the video does and all that stuff. I'm more of a still pictured kind of person. But so let me see if I can. Oh, I hate these stupid cameras. All right. So, get this stuff out. I'm trying this Big and J stuff this year. See what happens. I've tried the powder of this stuff before, but never knew what. Never seen this stuff. Powder, about the same as the other stuff. All the buck jam, or no, deer cane and all that stuff. It's all been the same. Still my best that I've ever had is the trophy rocks. Those you just throw down on a trail and people walk right past them. This stuff you're supposed to add a half a gallon of water, knead it, it's supposed to heat up, and then you pour it in like a 3-foot area and let it set. Yeah. So I got the blind built. I'll show you that in a minute. Bush. All I know is up here on the front there's a lot of dead weeds. All right, so instructions: pour into this container a half gallon of water. Thoroughly mix mineral powder and water, first by shaking and then by kneading. Contents will become hot almost immediately. Continue to knead for at least 2 more minutes. Pour the mixture on the area of exposed loosened ground, 3 to 4 feet in diameter. If mixture solidifies in this container, just simply cut away the container. All right. I'm gonna go over here and loosen up the ground real quick. I cleared it, but I didn't loosen it up. So give me a minute, I'll be right back. All right, didn't have a rake, so I'll just use the stick. All right, so let's see this stuff. Good blue. Looks like a white powder. Got my mark for half gallon. Definitely heats up. Fill it right away. Ooh. Hot enough there. Definitely. Dang, it's hot. A little bit more. Close enough. Alright, so this first shake. See, it turns like a blue. Oh. Big blob in there. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Oh. Yeah, it's got like lumps in it. And I see why it says need it. those heating little pocket things you use in the wintertime. It's like a little teddy bear. Ooh. It's kind of weird. It's weird that it's blue, but maybe they made it blue for patriotic. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that. There's still chunks in there. That's definitely why I tell you to, need the bed. Sorry, just being a goof troop. Yeah, after this one, I just got one more camera right over here. I've been putting the camera. This is a new spot that I'm putting the camera. But I got another spot right over here that I'm gonna put another camera that I've been doing it for years. It's never shot anything off it or anything like that, but it's always fun to get to see what's in this area. Taken 3 deer off this mountain right here. And it's funny, there's a lot of hunters up here, a lot of hikers. They never really leave the trail. They just all sit on top of it and glass. And every year I find same thing, just glass, glass, glass. I know on the Wasatch front you get a lot of trophy hunters, and last year was definitely, my freezer's pretty full, so last year was the first year that I think I ever actually said I wasn't going to shoot a doe, and I didn't. Shot a buck, just right up here, about 200 yards to my left. Well, that's where he ended, but I shot him out of my blind that I made over there. But I just found out this spot would be a lot better. When I was over there, I couldn't see them come in too well. And then that was weird. All right. Got a few. You can definitely say the deer came and stuff. The powder, the mineral rocks are definitely just drop and go. A little experiment. Never hurt anybody. Try something new. Can't say you don't like it or it doesn't work until you try it. I do gotta say, my other blind, there were some bigger deer up at the top of this hill. It was frustrating to not see, or to see them, but they were way too far out to get a shot. And then when I did shoot my buck over there, because of the way this hill's formed, he disappeared really quick on me. So thankfully it was a good shot. Well, it wasn't the best shot, but I hit him in the liver, and the way the angle came, the arrow stuck out in the bottom. So whatever blood he had in him was coming out. So his blood shot was really good. All right, so I've been needing it for definitely over 2 minutes. see. Pour mixture into an area, expose loosened ground. All right, so let's there's a bunch of bugs here. Actually, had tarantulas here, and that's kind of weird. All right, so this is the spot that I've designated for this. I'm gonna put my trail cam right there on the top of the little fork. So, give me a minute. I'm gonna think of something. I'm not 100% on that stand for my trail cam. So give me a minute and see what I can figure out, and I'll show you. All right, so I was able to position it where it does shoot down. So this is not a steep hill, but it is downhill. All right, so pour this old B&G meltdown on the ground and see what happens. 1 second, put me down for 2 seconds. Just gotta open this thing. All right. There we go. Really hard to do this and video. So, all right, so yeah, not too bad. I do have to say, cleanup probably on this would be easier. Won't have a dusty old bag in my backpack on the way out, so it won't make my backpack dirty. But yeah, let's see what we got here. So we have, that's the spot. Sorry, it's hard to film this in this weird angle. There's a spot, give or take 3x3, right on this trail. There's my camera. I tested it. Did the old army crawl to see if it makes sure it gets smaller animals at an angle. So, all right. Either way, this trail camera, with or without this working, I'll be able to see if they're stopping at it. But with or without this stuff, Big and J, there would be deer coming through here. There's every year I've hunted this, it's always got activity. Always. So let me give you a little look-see at the tree. That's the blind. 1 second. Yeah, so this is the blind. Got my little walk in here. Gotta kind of make a little quiet, but I'll be able to come in and sit down. See enough through all this that I can see out. You can see the adjacent hills, all that, little door, and where that's at. I got a background behind me, so when I'll be camoed in. But yeah, this should work pretty good. The one over there on the other side of this is less than this, so I'm guaranteeing this is 10 times better. If I need to, if I have to shoot right there or anything, I can draw down when I'm sitting here, stand up and shoot. But I think this will work well. My daughter's gonna probably come up with me a couple times. Definitely get her on something. Give her a easy shot between right here and stuff. It'll be fairly fairly easy shot. Probably under 40, most likely through this area. The other spot where I put my trail camera, just really hard to hunt off there just because it's such a narrow spot, but you get deer funneling through there, so I'll know what's in this area more than anything. But I wonder if my trophy rock is still over there. They were hitting that pretty good last year. We'll find out. There'll be a big hole. I put two, over the last like 3 or 4 years, I've put 2 or 3 trophy rocks there, and they just keep digging away. Last year I got lucky. I almost got attacked by a wasp nest over on the other one. I went to put my trail camera on a tree that I've done forever, and they had built something there. I almost stuck my hand in their nest. But I'll be a little more prepared this time. So, but all right. Ground blind Wasatch front is done. I love doing this stuff. I love doing this stuff. But, all right, let me clean up. I'm gonna hike up over to the other one and I'll show you that one. Here's my second spot. And over the years I've done, like I said, 2 or 3 trophy rocks, and if I look at this, I think it's 2 trophy rocks and a couple. I've done deer cane, buck jam, and I think I've tried they have another Big and J that looks like it has corn in it. But yeah, these are the spots I can tell. Dug a hole for the trophy rock. There's another trophy rock. So you know, they definitely like that, but you can definitely tell where I've put the Big and J and stuff. They put that stuff as well. Like, that's ground out, that's dug out. I don't know which one would be which, but there's one right there, up there. So they're definitely hitting this, but the spot is so tight to hunt in that it's not a very, this is just more for pictures instead. But yeah, that tree right there is where I almost put my hand in the hornet's nest or wasp nest, whatever. When I do hunt it, I try to sit back in there. I think, and obviously this is really green. Nothing's dying off. I wait until the end of September, October to start hunting this. So we'll have a good soak coming on with this stuff, see what happens. But yeah, I'm gonna hike down over there somewhere. I don't know if by chance I do sit up here, but got the blind now in a better spot, so I think that's pretty much going to be it. But this one just produces a lot more pictures. So, but yeah, I put the trail cam right there, and I'll probably just put that stuff like this kind of cleared out, so I'll probably just dump it right here, see what happens. See what pictures I get, because they're obviously coming. You can see that it's still beat down right here. So this gets a lot of turkeys too. Had one mountain lion in here 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. It's kind of cool, but only came through once. All right, I'll get the trail camera, buck jam, and get this spot set up. All right, got it all done. Already attracting bugs. But yeah, I was telling you, this place attracts turkeys. Always turkey feathers in here, always. Hundreds of bees by my head too, but yeah, there's those two. Okay, bee, could you go elsewhere? I'm not bugging you. How about you stop bugging me? It's all part of nature. And then there's the other trail camera. So, but this one always has game come through it. You can see it's got good trail. Well, it's kind of hard to see, but there's 4 or 5 trails right to this spot. So, all right, let's see if yeah, there's another feather right there too. So Oh, I don't know. Let's see how big this one is. Ooh. So, cleaned up all my mess, caps, all that. Got my jugs, garbage. Always clean up your garbage, people. These jackasses in this world, they just throw crap everywhere. Yeah, right there was the nest last year. So, that'll be fun here. I've been hunting this area for about 5 years now. About 3 years ago is when I started putting the cameras in here, something like that. 3 years ago, I think. It's worked out well to see what's in here. I do gotta say that there's less people in this canyon. I'm gonna tell you why. Because a couple fingers over is a bigger bowl. It usually holds a little more deer, but everybody who hunts in this area kind of knows that. So they all go right to the peaks and everything over there and sit and glass in. And like I said, a lot of people hunt this area. You actually drop down into these canyons. You'll probably see how loud it is. I do a lot of ambush hunting. That's my go-to move. Plus up here, it is absolutely brutal to try to stay quiet. Even on a game trail, after fall and everything, game trails, you can't even stay quiet. Just way too much noise. So I pick ambush spots to deal with. And last 3 years, I'm 3 for 3. One wasn't an ambush spot. One was, I was hiking out, seen a deer. It was like 3 days before the end of the hunt. So I walked until she stood up. She was in my range and let her rip, and that was the only one that was not ambush. The other two were right off this mountain right here that I just put my 2 trail cameras on. One from the blind that I built last year, and one right above where I was just sitting and just happened to look up and over a little ledge, and they were feeding right down below me right before dark, and nailed it. But that one though was the longest tracking job I've ever had. Hit it good, and it went easily 800 yards, and I didn't even bump him. Nothing. I shot him right before dark. And then I went down, made sure I could see good blood, and I watched him follow a trail up and over through this little ravine and disappear into the little buckbrush, scrub oak, whatever this crap's called, and disappear. So I came back the next day, and yeah, he went a long ways, and I had actually given up when because I would track, find blood, and then all of a sudden it would disappear for, I don't know, 50 yards, and then I go back to where I last figured out, and go back through, a direction and pick up another little drop. And I did that for hours. And finally, I actually had gotten mad and said, heck with it. I can't see him. I had actually thought I jumped him up out of a bed, because when I was tracking it, all of a sudden I heard crashing and banging right above me. So I was like, dang it. I just spooked him up. And like second after that, I was pretty much just going to give up and go to the top, or give up tracking and go to the top and see where I could see where that deer went that I heard. Well, it's really thick where I was at. So I'm like, well, let me just go right over here. There's a little trail. And as I was walking out through all the thick stuff to get to a trail, I just stumbled up on him. And unfortunately, the coyotes had got to him and eaten part of his back left leg. Probably about 10 inches of his back straps on that side, and all his intestines and stuff. So I still got 30 pounds of meat off him and heart, so wasn't a complete loss. And I call him my trophy 2-point. So far I've been on a kick of taking 2 points lately. Well, I got a 4-point, my first ever kill, but he's a tiny 4-point. And now I just call him a 2-point with trash, just to joke around. But hopefully this year pans out. There's a nice 4-point in this hole last year that I missed him twice. And after I had shot my buck and found him, I shot him right before dark. Came back the next day. He'd only gone like 100 to 150 yards, and piled up. Well, while I was processing him to pack him out, there was that 4-point I'd missed twice over there breeding does, and he was only like 150 yards away, and he didn't care I was there. He knew I couldn't do anything. But maybe, just maybe, this year I'll get a better one. I did miss a nice 3-point in here too last year, so. Alright. So, we'll come back. I'm going to probably at least give it 3 weeks to a month before I come back in here. I have some other hunts. And me and my wife have some cow tags. I'm going to try to video those. My daughter still has a youth archery doe tag for East Canyon, and she still has her archery buck tag that I'm trying to fill. So hopefully there's more content this year. So, all right, see you on the next video.